So far we've learnt to focus on our surrounding world and physical sensations in our bodies. Today, we're going to move to the third point of focus, the most elusive point, thoughts in our minds. The skill here is to learn to notice when you're thinking and then shift to observing it. So it's almost like sometimes we're within a thought, we're sort of looking out from the perspective of a thought. What we want to do is shift to this position here, where we're observing the thought. Let's take an example. You're lying in bed and you're thinking in circles about a mistake you made earlier in the day. Learning to notice that thought and then shift to observing it gives you the space to make a choice. There's a few different choices you can make. Let's look at them. So you're starting from the thought, you shift to observing it, and from here you could just simply watch the thought and let it pass by, because thoughts will generally pass eventually if you let them. Or you might actually choose to engage the thought, to plan, to problem solve. But there's other options. Maybe you need to accept the thought and learn from it. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is just to park a thought and then come back to it later. Or a really useful method you can apply anytime is to simply focus elsewhere. Focus on the surrounding world or turn to physical sensations in your bodies. So let's break it down. The noticing part can sometimes be challenging, but there's a few techniques to help. One thing you might notice are strong and sudden physical sensations in your body. Maybe your chest suddenly tightens or your heartbeat increases. Now when you become aware of this, you can use it as a cue to then move to that position of observation and observe your mind and work out what kind of thought has triggered those sensations in your body. Another useful method is to listen to sounds around you. I often find when I'm walking, the sounds of birds, of leaves rustling in the wind, will cue me in. I'll bring myself out of my mind and kind of anchor myself to those sounds. And from the position of listening, I can then observe what I was thinking about and make that choice again. And the same is true of physical sensations in our bodies. I often use the breath, as it's quite a strong sensation that's always happening. So you can tune into your breath just throughout your day, and from that position of focus on your breath, you can observe your mind and again make that choice. Now let's look at the observing part. There's a few different types of thoughts you can observe. You might find yourself thinking about the past, sometimes in an unhelpful way, like regretting and feeling low. Other times you might find yourself thinking about the future, and this can sometimes be unhelpful too, like worrying. Another type of thought is thinking in circles, and you can do this with the future or past. And often what we actually want to be doing is focusing on what's happening right around us. Say for instance you're talking to someone and you keep finding yourself in your own mind. You probably want to be listening to them and focusing on them. And then you might just find yourself thinking again. So basically what we want to do is to be able to observe our thoughts so we can focus on what's happening. We can choose to do that. Basically just show up to life. Some thoughts can be really persistent. They just keep coming back. So when you're trying to focus, say on that person, you might find yourself in your mind, focus on them again and find yourself in your mind again. So the trick is just to keep noticing when you're in your mind, so you can make that choice to focus back on them if you want to. With practice and determination, your focus will get stronger. So let's try it out briefly. Let's focus on our sense of sound to anchor ourselves. And when you notice that you're no longer focusing, no longer listening, observe your thought and then bring yourself back to the sound. Just try that now. Notice, observe, focus. On our next episode of Focus, we're going to learn to apply a calm state of mind to the 3 points of focus: our surrounding world, physical sensations, and thoughts in our minds, which is really useful when life is full on.
Please, check my eyes.
Kia ora. If you like what you see, follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube or go to our website to sign up for email updates from me. Keep liking and sharing our videos to grow the movement. Peace.
As I wipe the slate clean, share